Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back in another. Sorry, I always struggle to get the camera angle right. I hope you're having a good time wherever you are, and as ever, I appreciate your comments and sharing of the video and support and that sort of thing. Yeah, I was taking a while to decide what to cover for like part two because as I mentioned in part one, I'd love to narrow my goals down to sort of 5 or 6 goals, but or 5 or 6 things that I hope to focus on. So I'd love to spend 20% of my attention, time, money, energy, and whatever else I have on those 5 things which I talked about. But within those things, there are many other goals that I have. And as ever, I'd love to read your comments and suggestions about those sorts of things. But anywho, yeah, I often do these in the past I did 30-part videos, and now I made it even more complex by doing 40-part videos, 4 lots of 10, because to symbolize I'm 40 now. But yeah, as again, I would love to read your comments, and I'm going to crack on with my list of ideas. So here goes. So number 11, I would love to change the world for the better, as I often talk about. I know I'm quite repetitive, so please forgive me for that. But I would love to change the world for the better in whatever way possible. Maybe network with other people. Again, I'd love to read your suggestions about how we can help people. Like for instance, with the earthquake in Syria and Turkey, how can we fundraise for things like that? How can we ensure the money that's raised goes to the right place? Maybe even in the future travel together to places like that. I'd love to help in those sorts of situations, although I'd rather they didn't happen in the first place. But yeah, look at how countries can protect themselves from stuff. Sorry, again, I'm just trying to get the camera angle right. And that sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, again, I'd rather those things didn't happen, but to help out and like pull people from the rubble and things like that in those sorts of situations and prevent wars and things like that. I know I'm a bit of a dreamer, but yeah, that would be pretty cool. Again, if it didn't happen, it'd be even better. But no, I'm not always the most proactive. I'm quite someone who thinks quite a lot and has a lot of ideas, but I'm not always the best at taking action. So recently, my friend Reese actually asked me to come and help him where I live locally in my local town. Well, my local city centre rather, which is not quite my same town, but in the city, in the same city I live, which I don't want to reveal. So to help the homeless, so I took part in that. But it was his idea and his initiative. But I'd love to do things more like that. Again, it'd be cool if everyone had a house, enough to eat, enough to drink, and things like that. I think, and no one's homeless. But considering the situation exists, I think it is good to help people. And it was again, I give credit to him because he came up with the idea. But I was happy to help as well. I was a bit shy, but I was happy to help. And I'd love to do things more like that. Again, once again, it would be better if those situations didn't happen. But also, I'd love to support inventors from what I call the six, which I've mentioned in part one. I don't want to go into that in too much detail again, because again, I know I'm very repetitive. But yeah, I'd love to help the inventors, ideas, entrepreneurs, people. I know I have covered these ideas for a while back, but I haven't been on YouTube for quite a while. So hopefully, it's kind of a reminder of those ideas and a reminder for myself and other people watching this about how we can work together on those sorts of things. Also, I'd love to create a project called the M.K.S Enterprises, M.K.S being my initials, hence the name of this channel, and hence what I call most of the project ideas I have, most of my projects, so to speak. I hope it's not narcissistic, but the idea is that I came up with the idea, so I put M.K.S in brackets a lot of time. But yeah, M.K.S Enterprises. I don't actually want to make any money from it myself unless I really need the money to live on. But in fact, I only want to make enough to live on, and the rest of the money I often say I want to donate to charity. And if you don't believe me now, I mention it on camera. You can actually hold me to it in the future. But yeah, I'm not really that materialistic. Although I'm a hoarder, I normally hoard things like papers and things I'm not supposed to keep to write all my wacky ideas on. But yeah, I'd say I'd love to create the M.K.S Enterprises, which I wanted to create on my birthday, but didn't quite get to do so. But that's mainly to support startups and entrepreneurs, startups, SMEs, and entrepreneurs generally in again what I call the six. Also to network together and improve relations between what I call the six. Again, people of colour and indigenous people from those areas, or even around the world, but especially helping people in Africa, Asia, and places like that. I'll say the six I mentioned before, and I don't want to go over it again too much. Number 12, I'd love to inspire and motivate and encourage people. Like if I can achieve success, I'm sure most people can, because I'm not that great myself. So if I can achieve success, I'm sure most people can, as I say. Number 13, as I say, I think the only selfish idea I have, and I'm including it, as I often say, for the number 13, because the number 13 to me is like an unlucky number or a devil's number or something like that. But normally that I associate with like selfishness as well, perhaps, and so that's why I'm including it. I hope it's not jinxing it, but I'm including it as number 13. But hopefully it won't jinx Italian football. But I say that's because it's like a selfish idea. Hope that made sense. And also I hope to solve, like to seek problems that need to be solved. Number 14, I hope to solve those problems working with others, such as potential people who view this video and people from what I call the Six, neurodiverse people from around the world, and people who want to help other people, especially from what I call the Six, and help the most poor and disadvantaged people generally. Number 15, again, I think it's when I come up with all these ideas, I think it's a cool thing that I sort of narrowed it down to 5 things: Italian football, Celtic, libertarianism, liberty, human rights, and things like that, and supporting former colonies, supporting peace, supporting the poor, and things like that. I think it's cool that I narrowed it down because hopefully I can focus more on those things. Once again, if I could, I'd donate a fifth or 20%, whichever way you want to put it, of my effort, energy, attention, time, money, whatever else I have into those 5 things. So I think sometimes less is more, because if you focus on those, you can do more. If you focus on 1 or 2 things, I think you can do more of those things, and then with momentum, you can get the confidence to do more. Like if I achieved success with Italian football, then maybe Celtic will want to work with me even more as a football club, because they'll be like, oh, this guy does have ideas. He's dyslexic and mad. Creative ideas actually help. So hopefully, as I say, with success in one area, you can expand onto those other areas. So I'd love to hear what you think about that as well. Like a lot of people say, you should focus on 1 or 2 things, not so many. Like Bill Gates or people like that focused on 1 or 2 things rather than so many. Number 16, I hope to not overthink. As I often say, I do struggle with that, but I hope to, again, prioritize 1 or 2 ideas rather than thinking of so many, and like listen to and read other people's comments and ideas. I hope that I have done that. I might be a bit stubborn, but hopefully I have managed to change a little bit. I know there's still a lot of things I need to work on. Like people said, I need to improve my lighting. I think I've improved that a little bit from where I was, using a microphone, standing up to do my videos. So hopefully someone told me that has more energy and you can hear my voice more clearly and things like that, using a microphone and elevating the laptop. So hopefully those sorts of things help to improve the channel. So yeah, hopefully people see I took those ideas on board. Number 17, as I often say, I'd love to see what neurodiverse people can achieve, and I'd love to talk about my bucket list again, which I think I talked about a while back before I went to Australia. But again, I haven't managed to upload more on that. When I was in Australia, I forgot my password, so I didn't manage to upload any videos, and that's why I haven't been uploading videos for a long time, much as I wanted to, and had all these ideas in my mind. I also hope not to give up on things, because I do give up on things quite easily, especially like, say, if I've written something and someone rips it or tears it or damages it or throws it away or gives it away even, I feel bad. I like sort of give up, because I think what's the point of trying things if they don't last or stuff like that. And I hope to just keep trying and work out things until I get things right. No matter how many times I fail, hopefully eventually I'll get there. And but yeah, I'd love to travel to parts of what I call the Six, and for neurodiverse people to showcase what we can do for Italian football and for Celtic and for the poor and disadvantaged and what I call the Six especially, and that sort of thing. I didn't want to put that as 3rd in the list because of my superstitions, but anywho, yeah. So moving on, number 18, I hope to make things positive and be more positive and upbeat and encouraging. And I feel guilty sometimes because of my depression or anxiety or negative thoughts when I post negative things on YouTube or Facebook, or both, or either those things, or anywhere. Because I wish I was like a positive, upbeat and uplifting person a lot of time, or all the time pretty much. I know sometimes you can have moments when you're not, but I wish I was more upbeat more often, because then I could help others. So I hope as well, like I say, I often encourage people to post in the comments or even make response videos or anything like that if you want to. If people watch this and want to make response videos, even if they want to take the mick a little bit, hopefully I'll learn to laugh at myself, not take myself too serious. That's another thing. And but yeah, if you can offer any suggestions either through the comment section, or even better, if you make, I'll say, your own response videos or whatever, you can talk about like how to be positive or anything like that. Again, either in the comments or through your own response videos, so we can either read it or even better listen to positive people and that sort of thing. And I hope to, on that note, also to share positive things, come to think of it, on Facebook as much as I can. Number 19, I hope to support African and Australasian, Indigenous African and Australasian software developers. And number 20, also Indigenous Africans and Australasians, especially from South Africa and Central Africa and Aboriginals in STEM, generally science, tech, engineering, and maths. And yeah, I hope to encourage companies to support them as well. And again, going back to what I said about the bucket list, I hope to travel with my fellow neurodiverse people to these countries I talked about, like to the six, and like work with politicians in those countries to raise awareness about neurodiversity or special needs or learning disabilities or whatever you want to call them, like dyslexia, ADHD, autism, and dyspraxia, especially. And I am out. Peace and out.